Hey everyone, have you been hunting for a laser engraver that can actually handle glass, acrylic, and ceramics without turning your workspace into a mess? Because I've been testing the Creality Laser Engraver Falcon T1 UV5W, and honestly, it's one of those tools that actually delivers on the promises. If you're interested in learning more, the link to the product is in the description below, so be sure to check that out for all the specifications and details on Amazon. So, what makes this thing stand out? First off, it's a 5-in-1 modular powerhouse. You're not just getting a laser engraver here, you're getting a tool that adapts to different materials and projects. Whether you're working on glass tumblers, acrylic keychains, or even ceramic plates, this machine handles it all. I've used it for custom gifts, personalized drinkware, and even some home decor pieces, and it's been surprisingly versatile. The modular design means you can swap out components quickly, so you're not stuck with a one-trick pony. This flexibility is especially useful if you're someone who likes to experiment with different materials and techniques, as it allows you to explore various creative avenues without needing multiple machines. Now, let's talk about glass engraving because that's where a lot of engravers fall short. Most lasers struggle with glass. They either crack it, leave a rough finish, or just don't engrave cleanly. But the Falcon T1 uses UV laser technology, which means it's gentle enough to engrave glass without any of those issues. I tried it on a few wine glasses and even a smartphone case, and the results were crisp, clean, and professional looking. No burn marks, no smudges, just a smooth, etched design that looks like it was done by a pro. This is particularly impressive when you consider how delicate glass can be and how easily it can be damaged by improper engraving techniques. Precision is another big win here. The micron-level accuracy means you can engrave intricate designs, fine text, or even tiny details without losing clarity. I tested it with a detailed logo on a small acrylic plaque, and the edges were so clean you'd think it was printed. Plus, the machine itself is pretty straightforward to set up. The software is user-friendly, and Creality provides decent tutorials to get you started. If you're new to laser engraving, you won't feel like you're drowning in a sea of technical jargon. The software is also quite intuitive, allowing you to import your designs, adjust settings, and start engraving with minimal fuss. One thing I really appreciate is how quiet this thing is compared to other engravers I've used. It's not silent, but it's nowhere near as loud as some of the CO2 lasers out there. That makes a difference if you're working in a shared space or just don't want to deal with a constant racket. And because it's UV-based, there's no need for messy chemicals or post-processing cleanup. Just engrave, wipe off any dust, and you're done. This not only makes the workflow more efficient but also reduces the risk of accidents or exposure to harmful substances. I also like that it's compact enough to fit on a desk without taking over your whole workspace. It's not tiny, but it's not enormous either, perfect for a home workshop or a small studio. The build quality feels solid, and the included safety features give me peace of mind, especially when I'm working with materials that could shatter or splinter. The compact size also means it's easier to store when not in use, which is a consideration for those with limited space. Now, no tool is perfect, so let's talk about a couple of things to keep in mind. First, the learning curve isn't zero. While the software is beginner-friendly, getting the settings just right for different materials took a little trial and error. I had to adjust the power and speed a few times to get the best results, but once I figured it out, it was smooth sailing. It's essential to understand that laser engraving, like any craft, requires some practice to master. The key is to be patient, take your time, and don't be afraid to experiment. There are also plenty of resources available online, including forums and communities, where you can find tips and advice from experienced users. Second, the UV laser module is an extra purchase if you want to engrave glass or certain ceramics. It's not included in the base price, so that's an added cost to consider if you're planning to work with those materials. However, for those who do plan on engraving glass or ceramics regularly, the extra investment is well worth it, given the quality of the results and the versatility it adds to the machine. All in all, the Creality Laser Engraver Falcon T1 UV5W is a solid investment if you're serious about laser engraving but don't want to deal with the mess or limitations of traditional lasers. It's versatile, precise, and actually delivers on its promises without breaking the bank. Whether you're a hobbyist looking to expand your creative horizons or a professional seeking a reliable tool for client work, this engraver is definitely worth considering. If you're curious about the details or want to see it in action, the link is below.